Good evening, everyone. We are back for another episode of The Shrine, and today we have a new guest as usual. Introduce yourself, starting from that side.
Jerry saying it, you know, a new guest.
Mkitele Frank.
Nkoba Mugisha.
As usual, in his trademark shots. Today's topic is one that took everyone by storm and has everyone divided, and it's pop star and son of the soil, Akon. It's either spelled with a C or a K, depending on where you stand.
Okay.
Starting with you, Dean. Is it spelled with a C or a K?
Well, yeah, the man sang a song about corny people. I'm so paid. So truly, he has not lied. He has been very honest with his ambitions.
Our guest, do you feel Akon's promise to build the city is a con?
My personal view, we can't really know because there are so many companies that have come from out, all in the name of building a satellite city.
Speak up.
I'll give you an example. If you move to Naguru, just opposite the headquarters of police, there was a proposed satellite city to be built somewhere.
Are you for real?
Yeah, they evicted guys.
They evicted guys proper, what? And they had started because actually interned on a project there. But as it stands now, it's a bush. So man, we have to first see the real action taking place. Words are just words.
But if you have given the man up to 2036, we've given those folks time, man.
Frank, what do you think?
Man, honestly, for me it feels like, what was the name of that professor they brought for COVID?
Safaraz.
It's just the same.
Fun fact. Akon came in exactly 1 year after the other guy. So you were in the anniversary.
So the template. When did Kanye come?
Kanye
Did Kanye come in 2018? When did Kanye?
Kanye never promised shit, right?
Yeah. He
Kanye
just
showed up on a
to create an album.
For real?
Yeah.
It wasn't the publicity stuff.
No. It's cool that they visited and donated something.
Where's the album?
So we can conclude whatever project anyone says they do in Uganda.
It's almost like
someone asked, where are the sneakers that he gave to himself? He gave him a pair of Yeezys, but we've never seen them.
well, the time the first lady bumped hers. The time.
Rush is stylish. But some of the man is used to gumboots. I mean boots.
What are you insinuating? Why are you saying why she's stylish? What are you insinuating?
Well,
Ron picks you up.
no, I'm saying he's an old-fashioned man.
Oh, yeah. But even back then sneakers were popular.
Back then they were used to. I mean boots, moja.
We'll explain better in the safe house. We'll explain better in the safe house. But really, from the inception of this thing, have you guys looked at the designs?
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen the designs?
I have.
You looked at the designs.
But you see, that's the problem, right? Uganda is known as the land of artistic impressions. Well, all artistic impressions for just about everything. And when you look at all these artistic impressions, wow. This hospital in Lubowa that they have been threatening us with. Did you see that artistic impression? You can feel like now you even want to go and abuse the Kenyan working at Aga Khan, like, Kwe, do you know what we have? But
even NRM Tower. Have you seen the artistic impression.
You'll explain better in the same house.
I'm just going to edit this out. Anyway.
Why are you fearing, man?
Apparently, he built a city.
Alright, so
That's the impression.
yeah.
Oh.
It's really unreal. Like,
He built a city in Senegal.
no.
So and that's why
So he's coming already to sell us an idea he hasn't implemented.
So that is the problem, right? In Senegal, he pitched the city, right?
Uh-huh.
Government jumped in, gave him land. He said he needed a budget of $6 billion. So he raised $4 billion of the $6 billion. But still, goats are grazing in the place. Blood. If I've given you $4 billion out of
At least you could do something.
No, but it's
at least set the foundation.
it's earmarked to start. It's earmarked to start. I think this or next year. Yeah, that's when, like. But I saw some. You give us your view, since you are a civil engineer. I don't know if you look. Those buildings look very, very unreal. Like, very, very unrealistic.
Is that glass?
It's glass. Like Wakanda. Basically, it's Wakanda.
He's getting the same concept from the movie. But you see, concepts are like that in construction. They start out when they're impossible, carving this side, but they're going to be blocks in the end. There's going to be no more blocks.
But this is also another thing, right? Akon is a private individual. Meaning he's not doing this from the goodness of his heart.
What do you mean?
He's doing this because he's anticipating profit down the road, right?
Yeah.
So
Of course,
He's a businessman.
he says it's going to be powered by Akon.
right, fair enough. But look at it this way. Say, let's suppose, I don't know if it's F close 2 or F close 3, if everyone succeeds in building this city, right? So we now have this, it's on how many, 1 square mile? 4 square miles. Okay, fine, let's say they're given him 4 square miles, man puts up a city, right? Within a city, there are a lot of economic activities that one can potentially benefit from. Garbage collection, lighting, water, all those things, right? So say Akon succeeds in setting up this whole infrastructure. In Uganda, do you really honestly think that the only way he's going to benefit is through the currency he has created? Because remember, Akon will only be an operational currency within the confines of that city.
Even Senegal, even his
Listen,
city.
yeah, exactly the point. Outside the confines of that city, you have to revert back to normal the dominant fiat currency of the area, right? So meaning his currency only has value within a certain geographical territory. Outside that, and the territory is too small. If it was a full-blown country, it would make sense, but the territory is too small, and then he has to exchange it and do all this math of exchanging it against the Uganda shilling, right? Most likely, he's going to pick up all the other. If he succeeds, he's going to pick up all the other money-making avenues within the city and assign them to himself, right? Now we're going to have 4 square miles of possibly a high-end technological city, right? That rivals even Kampala, because Kampala is just a. It's Kampala. It's special.
There's a point you're trying to make. What are you saying about him making?
So we're going to lose all the revenue, all right, from being able to build and develop our own cities, and just.
But we don't have the capabilities to do so. There's been a proposal. I don't know. It's I think Nakasongola to move the capital cities to Nakasongola. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, but
there's been a proposal for some time now, but
no, we have the capabilities.
We don't have.
Let me tell you,
we are a poor country, by the way, you guys.
No, we have.
Let me put it like this, right? What makes a country? What makes a government a government, right? Purely from a pragmatic standpoint. First, forget this nonsense people like blabbering on about human rights, wadada. That's all rubbish, all right? And it only exists in the best of times. When push comes to shove.
Yes.
See, I did also, one of our law professors, side note, told us that human rights basically, especially in times where there is strife, live when it's rosy, right? Human rights basically extend to who the fastest runner is. Like in Amin's time, guys, Amin used to tell guys, your rights extend to how fast you can run away from me. If you're the fastest guy, blood, enjoy your full rights.
So
now, what I'm saying is this: you cannot argue that Uganda lacks the capacity to build a city. Yet Uganda is governed by a government, all right, that has full control, that the people have given up their share of coercive force for, all right, and entrusted it to this group of people to be able to make such hard decisions for us.
Have you looked at our GDP debt ratio?
If the government woke up today, all right, and said, "Come and buy Ambaya, I want a city there," all right, it would create the necessary financial instruments. It would coerce the necessary labor, all right, and it would divert the necessary forces by hook or crook to achieve it.
I think.
Listen, that is what a government is supposed to do. That is what all
Supposed
these
to.
listen. That is what all these Asian tigers did. All right, the government of the day woke up one day and said, "I want this there," and they were told, "We don't have X, Y, Z," and the government utilized the full weight of its coercive instruments, all right, and creativity to force that to happen. All right. So the argument that Uganda lacks capacity to do X, Y, Z, all right, is just a paper argument.
It's not because Egypt is just finishing on their new capital city. They want to move from that capital.
But before you get up, just announced 5 new cities.
I was
What do you have to say?
How are the names?
Just change the names.
Yeah, man.
Just change
This
the
guy
names.
is really
From Mbale to Mbale City.
we just change names. I was naming
my God.
and giving a few political people some jobs. But anyway, I think Egypt got an empty piece of land and built a new high-powered city. All the roofs are are filled with solar panels and whatnot. It's well planned, because their Cairo is also like our Kampala. Traffic jam is crazy.
It's fucked up.
Yes. So we've had that proposal to move the city to Nakasongola, maybe Ghana. So for us, as this man is trying to compare us to Asian tigers, those people, even on a societal level, their work ethic is different.
It's not
Chibugos.
Listen.
Every weekend you are in Simbulari, to Simbu. You do not have that way.
But listen, it's like
But you're speaking for everyone, from let's say the people you know.
No.
The capacity is there. What's not there is like he said.
The will.
Exactly. The will is not there.
there.
The will is not there.
You know, okay. You have to factor in the reality.
All I know.
You have to factor in the reality. Is that our I
To
don't
make
want
a
end up
city.
in a safe house, but yeah.
Okay, if you have money, but you have no people, can you make a city? But
Yeah,
if you have people and you have no money, can you make a city?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, exactly. So that GDP argument actually
Okay,
it's
that's
not
But we would have to borrow.
no. Listen,
But you already borrowed.
It's
You already borrowed.
It's reaching
Listen,
and
a city is basically it's a hyper convergence of different economic social factors.
Yes, people just
The
as long as
buildings-
you
hold on.
facilitate.
The
I mean it in terms of
Listen.
also the buildings and
Listen, let me finish
infrastructure.
my point, right?
Yes.
The buildings, the roads, what. That is secondary.
Ah,
A city,
yeah,
listen, let
don't.
me finish. A city is the hyper convergence of different socio-economic factors, all right? The only reason 1 square mile of land in Kampala is far more expensive than 1 square mile in Nakasongola. And yet, if you look at it at an economic level, right? In fact, take away from Nakasongola, say Luwero. The only reason Kampala is more expensive than Luwero, and then you can get more value for money over the long run, right? In Luwero than you can in Kampala, is all because we have just agreed that it should. All right, it's a hyper convergence of socially agreed upon economic and social activities, social values, right? So we know when we're in Kampala, this is how Kampala is supposed to operate, this is how it's supposed to behave because it is a city, all right? The moment you tell people, move those attributes you've given here, all right, and allocate them there, all right, the city will grow up. Listen, so if you're going to argue that we lack the capability, no. If we woke up one day and said, now, Mbale is a city, all right, what should they start? Just drop a list of 10 bullet points that you think is.
But that's what we always do.
Listen, drop 10 bullet points of what you think a city should be, all right, and observe, all right. Say, start with something like garbage, all right. Be like, because it's now a city, garbage will not be collected once a day. It will be collected 3 times a day, all right. Which company wants to take up this contract, all right? Different companies will be, all right.
Akon City.
Listen, we're saying about it, all right? Different guys will bid, all right? If the bidding process is honest, you go with the lowest bidder, all right? Now you've gotten the guys that are going to collect the revenue. Right now, Mbale is suffering from a problem. Their answer is what? That, we don't have enough revenue collection, blah, 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 etc. We can't collect rubbish. They actually have a rubbish problem in their markets, right? Now you have the guys who are going to collect the rubbish set up, right? Now you go and tell guys in Mbale, because Mbale is a city, all right? Prime property rates are going to increase slightly to fund the rubbish collection, all right? And you're going to tell them, Tulimu City, right? Let's be like, fine. The guys that can afford, push it up, all right? Then this is how cities work. The ones that can't, move to the suburbs, all right? Hold on, let me finish my point.
By the way, I see your argument,
Right?
but
You can literally create.
this is what I'm saying. In all these cities, none has these buildings. First of all, none runs on Equine. So if the man has brought his corn And
if
it
there was
has
another
these are the
city that
special
guys took,
features.
listen, if there was another city that guys took seriously, I'd like to assure you, right, we would have another Acacia Mall in Mbale. Kigali's economy is not even half of Kampala's size. Kigali has but you should see the buildings in Kigali. Not because they're doing anything special, but because they woke up and decided this is a city, let us take it seriously. It has high quality, high-end, proper real estate. All because the people with the money decided this is a city, let me treat it as such.
So Chihugu, what makes you feel? Do you think our government can pull off those buildings, those designs?
Our government can create a city.
Yes, we have the capacity.
We have the capacity.
It is the
What are
lack
all
of
pull out
discipline.
the design is a different question. But we have the capacity.
If you doubt yourself, if you have the will but you don't have this, if you have this and you don't have the will, let a Senegalese son of the soil with both come and help you.
The Senegalese son of the soil. Okay, for me, I think it's just a PR thing. The whole thing, it's not going to. It's not going to amount. That's just my opinion. So, because I feel like these guys are doing what they call political laundering. Like they just, they do this shit every year. Like, you know, bring some celebrity, make noise for people. People have something to talk about. The only thing that kind of excites me about Akon's thing is that digital currency. Only if it was a Ugandan digital currency. It didn't have to be Akon. Let us as Ugandans come up with our own currency to run in that damn thing and test it. What is is this thing feasible using a digital currency? Is it feasible? First test it in this so-called new city you're using to hype guys. See how it will work. You don't have to.
I think you're being unrealistic. If the lost national ID takes a year to replace it, it's in the database.
Now
out of a digital currency.
Goes back to
Exactly. That's the thing we're telling you. The capacity is there. Your country is blessed by even with people by them. You guys are hitting 15 Ugandans.
True.
Only a small piece of land. How many people are in DRS? I don't think they hit 90 Now DRS, yet you want to hit like almost half its population.
And DRS is the size of.
You have the fucking number here, bro. It's just that the people leading you are now in games of retaining their seats. You guys who are being led, you've given up. So that's the situation.
Sac de soleil.
China has just their project from 2014, their digital currency project.
Yes.
It's now it has reached.
But China is running its own national digital currency that's unhinged from the dollar.
Actually, we don't even need the feasibility study. It's China. We don't need to go and convince people. Tell them China, and you know the Chinese are never wrong. These guys.
This is my and this is what I'm saying. Since we don't trust ourselves enough to ever get anything done.
It's not that we don't trust ourselves.
Why don't we?
We trust ourselves.
Allow
like our ancestors don't trust themselves.
No.
As we trust ourselves.
Because look, okay, fair enough. I hear your argument, right? If we don't trust ourselves.
He was interning at a project. It's now a bush. You understand? Like we failed at the simple things. So let's allow a foreigner to come.
But look, right? Your argument.
Dean, you're making it Nkoba. You're criminalizing. If someone has given you something as beautiful as Akon City, why can't he earn that rubbish collection, man?
The devil is always in the details, right? So the way economies grow, people always.
Before you take us on a long.
No, listen. I'm going to shorten it. The way economies grow, people always labor under the illusion, the mass illusion, right? That economies grow by trading with other people and then getting the money and forex. Listen. The only way you can do that is through capacity building, and the only way you can build that capacity is by first, initially, all right, locking your economy down for foreigners and promoting internal drive. All the bullshit your government has ever sold you, man, we need foreigners. That is just foreign IMF-driven neoliberal bullshit.
True.
Free yourself from it.
But
now, hold on. This is what I'm saying, right? It is not that we have failed. It's not that we lack the capacity, all right? And the devil is always in the details, all right? if you sit down and scrutinize, because right now what they're selling you on, right, is a picture of a building that is twisted. You watched Chadwick Boseman, may the ancestors receive him with acting some Black Panther shit, guys. You saw him in Endgame, you're like, motherfucker, this shit is brilliant. You saw him, and now what he's doing is basically marketing that same feeling back to you, like you can get that feeling again. Support me, and you see that city, you get that shit again. But
first of all,
hold on, you've not yet assessed, like, what is the actual financial structure of the city? Does it benefit the nation? Does it benefit me? Or is this just another chance for wealth extraction by foreign powers? Because Akon is not the one raising that 6 billion from his own coffers. He's raising that 6 billion in Senegal. He raised it from Chinese and which other European country. Those motherfuckers want return on profits. They're not doing it from the goodness of their hearts. Alright? So if you're giving them a whole city, and for them they're like, fair enough. They've gotten all the concessions they want, and they set up a city. Alright? And then they start sucking value out of the economy. Will you turn around again and say, why is Uganda poor? And would your argument be we didn't have faith in ourselves to build this?
Let me ask. Let me ask.
Wait, okay, before you ask, just he talked about something. Do you think we Ugandans are going to stay in that city, or the boy will be like, yo, my boys, come and stay in this city? As in,
and actually, to add on that, he was interviewed by Canary. Yeah? And when he was told, after talking about how the place will have luxury spaces, offices, and he was told asked whether the locals would be able to afford that, he was like, the problem with Africans, we have low self-esteem.
As you can see, in your own country. At the end of the day,
we don't believe in ourselves. Okay,
I'm saying
it's a good answer for politics, but what he's saying is only people who are going to be able to afford. So he's not even making a city for himself. And then another thing I've seen, another assumption you have that may be wrong, is that he's going to take up the cost of that city. You might find these government guys are promising him funding. And you know our government here, we also have our own sharp boys. You may think he's playing them when the other hand's playing him. You get?
Do you know right now, in Bokoto alone, there are apartments where they're only reserved for Chinese and Indian nationals. Like, I'm not even lying, and this may sound controversial, but it's the truth, because I've dealt with such a...
But those places are there, and they're not even in Naguru.
So you go and say, I want to rent here, how much is rent? 800, and they'll tell you straight up in your face, you're African, we don't want you here. And then you remind yourself, are we not on the continent of like black people? Now you want to hand these same people a whole city in the name of development. Sir,
nationalism stuff.
We're handing it to a son of the soil.
Right, so that's what I'm saying, right? You're saying you're handing it to a son of the soil, but this is like
he's not really a son of the soil.
Even if he is a son of the soil, this has been an issue. This has been an issue since pre-independence Africa, right? Whereby guys know that guys just need window dressing that looks like you. That is all they need. How the Kenyans ended up with Kenyatta as president? They looked for the most viable Kenyan who would not disagree with their bullshit policies and just put him there. He's Kenyan, he's black, he speaks the language. Whether or not he's a son of the soil becomes up for debate.
That's what I'm saying. He's not a son of the soil. Yes, he was born here, but that he was recently given what award for global good. Some weird award. That's a right award.
If someone is going to play, and I want to be honest, it's a game that we all want to play, and we all want to aspire to. If someone is going to aspire to this game of global capitalism or whatever, right? It means you have to align yourself, right, with the powers that be, unless you have a thick enough skin. Say, fuck those guys, I'm going to do my own bullshit and take the consequences that come with that, right? But if you don't, then anyone that comes and is playing the game the right way, alright? As a rule of thumb, they do not give two flying fucks about your well-being.
But let me ask, at the end of it all, let's say you are right, he creates this city, we can't afford it. What do we have to lose? No, let me finish my point. He has created this city, we can't afford it, we are this side. You understand? Don't you think people was maybe there anyway? Depends if it will have an airport. I doubt it will. But won't these tourists or whatever going there leave some money on the roads or as they are traveling there? You understand?
To stay
what
there,
do we have to
go and see the city?
Yes.
So you're basically asking if we'll gain from the city.
Yes.
Like, you will gain from the city, but not
a square mile
to tourism. To tourism, it won't add much because what you will find.
If I come to say Akon City, after I see the gorillas,
listen. These guys have seen these cities everywhere they go. But that is where you find these tourists. If ever you get the chance to work in those things of tours and safari. You guys want to stay in places that are like, you don't want to come and stay in such a building.
They want to stay in the jungle.
They don't come and stay exactly like
cottage.
the lodge is like the rooms are open. Those things are $100 a night. Yet he has just built a ruckus shed out of wood. So, in terms of tourism, it won't add much because people are already coming, not for the city feels, but for the jungle feel that you have. That city will be purely just maybe for rich people to come and chill, like have a place where they can come and ball from. I have no problem with that. If in the implementation of Akon City, these infrastructures are somehow owned by locals, so that is locals getting off that rent. Otherwise, then it's just
I don't think the locals can afford to own the design.
But you see that you see caustic. If it was a serious project, which I'm saying it is not, by the way. Let's wait for 2036. They'll give themselves 15 years. It's cover. It's not like as if 15 years won't pass. If it was serious, then the state would be saying such things to the guy who wants to invest. If Akon, let's say, brings his own money, they're like, okay. But I don't know, maybe find out getting partnerships with the locals. That hotel you've put up, 50% of shares are locally owned. You get it? Then we know now these guys are serious. But now when they're just giving you, it's going to look like this. I don't know if there's way you guys can put in that artistic impression. Then it just shows us it's just another corner. That stadium in northern Uganda. What was it?
the Jonas Stadium. But
man, they didn't even try.
They will build like one big latrine and go into stadium.
I saw when he launched in Senegal, Senegalese architects and engineers were doubting the feasibilities of some of those designs. Yeah. So I don't know why our Ugandan architects and engineers where are you guys? We are not hearing.
Look at the
from the structural standpoint.
Yeah. First to way from the structural standpoint.
From the structural standpoint.
The man said there are going to be blocks in the end.
No, that's basically like I told you guys. When you're starting a construction project, you start from
wonderful ideas.
Yeah, imagination. Imagination will tell you something that's carved, what. But as you go on building, you come to reality of things. You realize that your building has to be stable. First, still your master pages. Yeah, it has to. So in the end, it will come out as.
But how comes the Arabs have pulled off?
How are the Arabs pulling off?
Al-Khalif.
Now, Arabs, that's money. That's the truth. Now, that's why that guy's funding is very questionable, because to pull off such a city, you need some mad funding. You see the Arabs, they didn't have land. So, you saw the palms.
Yes. Palms.
Those things it was just
reclaimed.
Reclaimed. You just poured sand. Like, you see the whole process. That's money. Like, you don't just do that.
They tell us the man has shares in gold mines.
Who? Akon.
Akon.
Yeah.
Akon must be.
I didn't know that.
Akon must be someone tweeted, right, that whoever comes to UG and first pulls off a successful con, because then that's his birthdays. So I think the mustache guy went and told his birthdays in a bar, like, man, why do we wait for the other side?
Well, looks like Uganda is a heaven for these things. But that guy sold coin in the gold reserves in Peru.
Which guy?
I don't know, was it in Peru? Some South American leader. They shipped it through here.
Oh, yeah.
Through Uganda.
Man, I don't know. Here it just seems.
As a society, we need to be angry.
It's the way to go.
Why everyone is taking us as a joke? But you get the respect you deserve. So if they're seeing you symbolating every weekend, party, number one, even the documentaries that come out of Uganda, moonshine epidemic.
We're either lynching guys or making booze.
By the way. So I think that's why we are easy targets.
It's not that we're easy targets, right? So there's some things you need to look at, right? First of all, as Ugandans, it's the small things. Last time I was in Jinja, we went to a hotel. So the guys in front of us were Bazungu. So this Bazungu walk in. Like, and this is a very common story. Bazungu walk in and they just say hi, and they walk through, right? So me and my friends are passing through, like, stop! Like, allow Afande. Hey, Muna, Okovachi. Ati, Muna, we have to check you. But you know, I didn't check the other guys. And the Askari tells you, Badi Bazungu, Badi Tasent. And I told him, do you think I've come to smell at you? Do you really think what has brought me is teeth? It's like, no, you see, I told the guy, fuck off. And the guy was offended. But I told him, if you're offended with me, right, I'm not offended with the other guy, we're going to fight. Because one, I know your gun was just shot like some 10 years back. And two, you're being stupid. Alright? So if at that level, at the micro level, right, the Askari is very eager to not check the Muzungu and make his life
press you.
But press you. What is happening is simply, so our leaders are now just the Askaris on a larger scale. It is, they may give themselves all sorts of airs, PhD what?
But it's still ignorance.
It's the same ignorance. I have seen a foreigner.
This guy knows what he's doing.
I've seen him in music videos. He has Lamborghinis. He cannot be poor. And yet you're being conned.
I saw Akon at the SFC headquarters. I'm like, yo, he's already
SFC. And this is something you need to,
like,
yes, SFC was there. And this is something you need to question, right? Why is Akon at the SFC headquarters? Think about it. SFC, right, is our elite special forces unit, all right? As a country, all right? As a country, this is like the highest level of security and defense we have, all right? Like, these are the guys you look at, like when they say, man, the way Israel has these guys, the Mossad. That is our Mossad. I'm willing to put money if Akon will go to Israel and go to Mossad.
And they take him to Mossad.
By the time our SFC is willing to bend over backwards to take pics with Akon, even if they are not delivering, even if they are not letting him see secrets, it's just like, yo, give the place some reference. Like, our president is standing there. Please, try to move. Like, when he says, I want to see SFC headquarters, let him fuck off. At least
you were a normal Ugandan and try to get lost there. The Kenyans will
like, it's the same thing. Like, the guys we have in charge of this contraption called Uganda are just glorified Askaris. They are Askaris with another name.
Is a person of yours?
No, I have to be honest about this.
Let me ask you something, you guys. Now, given, do you think the positions that they are in, these Askaris, do you think the positions they are in are the lucrative positions, or it's a personality? Because given you are put in their shoes now, what would you do different?
Listen, take Akon to Serena. Take him to Sheraton. That is okay. That is his level. Don't take him to SFC. This is a very simple thing.
Ask him for the financial viability.
Yes, he should not be seeing SFC. In fact, the people Akon should be seeing: Uganda Development Bank, Ministry of Finance, Uganda Investment Authority. That should be where his journey stops. Anything beyond that, what is he doing?
How many locals are going to be involved
some
in your
Senegalese
plan?
secrets, maybe. Some Senegalese secrets.
He shared some secrets.
Maybe the army wants to use Akon or something.
As what?
Man, you know this guy is called that guy because of that global good award he had just won. So they wanted to look good, what? And it's a bit weird too. You have to question, guys, these awards they give these guys, because then Akon know that these are dictators that we are dealing with here. People who are suppressing human rights.
I want to touch that topic, but
So
I feel like you're saying, because we had the mamas and the mamas were called off over these things, right?
by the way.
So I want to touch that topic, but I'll say that I'm very sure Akon saw the mamas and what happened, right? But still came through. So as a right-thinking member of society, especially in a society like America that is so very contingent on your PR and how people perceive you,
Political correctness.
Political correctness. Why has he decided to risk his political correctness to show up now? That is also another question here. What has brought him? If the mamas with the fat jaws, they think they did not see the money where they were being paid, and like, oh, you can get this money. Like,
but they still pulled out.
Right, they still pulled out. So either this guy has really been given some lucrative offer to show up, and maybe he has plans for his 4 square miles, or I don't know, it's a lot in there. But as Bana Uganda, Twina Kwebe Ledamu, have pride of place. Even if you see Akon, right? At least tell him Jose Comedian is better than you. Tell him radio yakweli dongo wanukai tomusongola.
Please going to bar us with the radio.
No. What I'm saying is
we shall have a musical episode.
No, what I'm saying is not that. What I'm saying is this, right? You also need to hold in yourself some esteem, whereby you say, okay, I'm better than him here, and therefore these are the boundaries I shall draw for me.
No doubt.
Don't open up the whole country. It is like I see a baby and I tell her, by the way, babe, the color of your eyes, and she's offering me my third bone. Like, yo, too many
Closing remarks. Aine.
Frank mentioned something. Like, guys are tired, but we can't do anything about it at this point. This guy is coming from out, he's building a city. The only thing we can do is be optimistic about it. But again, we could just change our consciousness as Ugandans and try to emulate that for ourselves. You get, we don't need a foreign person to come here and then wake us up
and start a futuristic city.
No, we can do it. Uganda, actually, you guys, in the beginning you mentioned that Uganda is broke. No, this is a very wealthy country.
In terms of the IMF and whatnot.
Resources, resource-wise.
We have very huge loans. That's what I mean by it.
Yeah, okay, that. But then resource-wise, that's why all these guys are attracted. They're coming to make this development.
True.
So basically, you need to wake up.
Nice. Frank, closing remarks.
My remark is the same. This was just some political ordering. I start by it.
Hugo, closing remarks.
Man, I've seen too much of Uganda to have faith in Akon City.
Yeah.
I've seen too much of my country. However, I want to have hope and I want to be proven wrong. Like, I enjoy being proven wrong. I'm a skeptic and I know that's not
I
good.
don't think you enjoy being proven wrong. But
I do.
For the cameras.
Alright, fine. In case someone's daughter wants to prove me wrong, I love it. But listen, I enjoy being proven wrong. Alright? So prove me wrong. However, should you fail to prove me wrong, I am going to jazz until the cows come home and until your ancestors come to pick you. I will jazz.
My closing remarks, I saw 2 posts on people's statuses that killed me. The first one was just simple. Actually, there were 3. The first one was the usual Akon. How many times have I called you? That was nice. The second was Akon. Tochisusa nyo. And the third one was really creative. They say there's a song of Akon. I think it's called Pot of Gold. Is it the one? Does it have a song called Pot of Gold?
With Chris Brown.
No.
Yes, he does. He does. He does.
So the guy made the pun is like Akon Tata. Tolowooza nti tuli batoto. Yeah, clubs are like yeah. So guys, anyway, it seems on today's jury it's a unanimous decision. Akon is spelled with a C. Akon is spelled with a C. Hey, next week, subscribe, like, share. Peace.